I want to start this off by saying you have to create your own life. You can't just copy someone in order to get money or get fulfilled. And I see all these people that literally do what I just said, and they make a whole bunch of money, but they're not happy. It's like you always hear the phrase, never ever reinvent the wheel. And that is true. But at the same time, do you actually feel fulfilled when you take someone else's idea and, profit or become a better person out of that? You should take someone's idea and then create something new with it. That is the definition of a visionary. That is the definition of a superior human. That is what you should do. All these online businesses that are like SMMA, Amazon FBA, growth operating, drop shipping, you have to create a new thing. Not even new. You have to create your own version of it that works for you and no one else. Someone can run ads, someone can send DMs, emails, whatever it is. You have to make it work yourself. You can't copy someone's idea to the dot because it doesn't fit with your brain chemistry. It literally does not fit with your brain chemistry unless there's an exact copy of yourself that made the idea. It simply will not work. And I see a lot of people that hop on the 10K month train and they don't actually create something or stick with something because they get shiny object syndrome, or they just try and implement the same idea as someone else, like to the dot, to the dime, and that doesn't work. You can't do that. In order to succeed, you have to create your own version of the task that you're doing. And how do you do this? You have to try a lot of stuff. You have to try a whole bunch of things in order to actually figure out what your strategy, what your life is, what you want to do. And only then can you actually decide, okay, well, this strategy works for him and it's similar to what I think and how I think. I'm going to take it and create something new with it. Okay. So as an example, I have an apple that was grown from an apple tree. Okay, and the tree made the apple. The tree has the idea of making the apple, so the tree grew an apple. Okay, and I'm going to take that apple, take the idea, and I'm going to make apple slices with it. So now I have my own individual idea, but it's not an apple anymore. It is apple slices. That's what I mean by creating something new with your idea. That is how you become successful. And on that point, it is super duper easy to become successful and rich, wealthy, whatever you want to do, what you want to call it. 3 things. Learn a skill, do it for a while, teach it. There you go. Those 3 things make you rich. Those 3 things make you happy. Those 3 things make you successful, and they actually make you fulfilled. Like, as an example, I want to be a plumber. Okay, whatever. Cool. I'm going to learn it for a while, and then I'm going to do the skill for a while or for a short time, whatever it is, and then I'm going to teach it to people. Okay, that example is a bit long. That can take years to do. All right. Whereas I'm going to start an online business. Okay. I'm going to run paid ads for businesses. Okay, so now I'm going to run paid ads for about 3 months, 6 months, see what kind of traction I get. A year maybe. Okay, now I'm making 10K a month in the first 4 months, first 6 months. Awesome. Keep on scaling up. Wait a minute, I can teach people this stuff. I can teach people this. I want to make a whole new business about teaching people what I know. And there you go. whole new income stream unlocked. All right, plus 1,000 Aura, bro. Literally, that is how you do it. All right, you have a skill, you do the skill for a while, you teach it to people. Okay, those are the 3 things, and then implementing your own identity to that skill also makes you very, very fulfilled in life. That is how you become successful. That is what you need to do. All right, you need to find yourself, you need to create a life for yourself. A great example as well is all these philosophers I know on YouTube. They just regurgitate information over and over and over again from books they've read, from YouTube videos they've watched, and it's not good because they only understand the fundamentals. They have to implement the right brain. All right, they're only using their left brain to analyze what the words say, and then that's it. Okay, so that this word says like this is bad. Okay, so this is bad. They don't create their own identity. They just agree with it on the spot because it's something new they've learned. Okay, what you should do is read the sentence or paragraph or phrase, understand the concept of it, question it. Well, why do you think this way? Why did he write it? Why did she write it? And then create a picture in your head about what you think it is and how you interpret it. This uses both hemispheres of your brain. It turns on both switches to where you can actually understand your information. And then once you have a picture in your mind of what it is, you can paint over it. You can add a new color to it. You can create something from the picture you've made in your head. You can create a new paragraph or a new concept from the concept that you just learned. This is super easy to do. All right, it's super quick to do. You just have to understand the words that you are reading. And then you have to, question why they're written this way, who wrote it, why did he write it, why did she write it, and then interpret it in your own way. You have to have your own vision behind it. You have to have your own persona about it. You have to understand it yourself. And a lot of people don't understand this, and they get caught up in all the mainstream media, and then they get the herd mindset. They literally are sheep because of it, and they don't even realize it. All right, everyone's like this. I'm a victim of it too. You can't. It's inevitable and it's unavoidable. But if you can dial down how much you're influenced by other people and what they say, what they do, you can live a more creative and individualized life. You can actually individuate and become your own person. You can create your own life because you've interpreted all this information, and then you now have enough tools in your tool belt, enough knowledge to actually create your own roadmap, create yourself, do the work, and actually become successful. You have to do it for a while because getting rich quick is like super duper easy, because a lot of people think getting rich quick is like a week. No, getting rich quick is like a year, 2 years, 3 years. That is extremely quick to get rich. Making 10K a month is like you're so broke, because half that goes to taxes, and then all your bills on top of that, and then the business. So you're really like you're taking home $2,000 a month from the 10K you're making in your business. But it's so stupid how people think that way. You're not making 10 grand profit. You're literally making like $24,000, which is the same as a minimum wage job. All right. The point of having a business is the scalability. That's what's intriguing. That's what people don't know. Once you scale up, have good systems in your business, then you can actually make 10 grand net. You can make 10 grand after taxes. You can make 100 grand after taxes. That is also very, very achievable. That's very, very plausible. It's super duper. It's not easy, but it's very plausible. And it's the same thing. Learn a skill, do it, teach it, okay? The more valuable your skill is, the more you can trade that for money. You trade skills for money. All right, and the more skills you grab, the more skills you obtain, the more skills you master, the more money you make, the more valuable you are to human society. That's how it works. And then if you teach it to people, those two income streams will boost you to multi-millions a year in a matter of like a decade or 5 years, okay? You do this and you win. All right, you do that and you literally win. That's what I'm doing right now with my business and my partner. All right, I see another huge problem that people have, and it's where they only use their left or right brain, like the analytical side, or they only have the creative side. And a lot of people, I touched back on this a little bit ago about getting shiny object syndrome. It's because if you're using your right brain, the very, very creative side, you're like, I want to do that, I want to do that, I want to do that. And you freak out and you can't do anything, and you like try it all, you just do it all. Whereas you're analytical, you don't do anything at all. You research all of it a whole bunch, you realize it's a terrible business idea, you don't want to do it, on to the next, and then the next, and then the next, and then you just don't even start something. All right, so what I've learned is I'm more of the creative side. So I had to bring literally a partner in. He's a great dude. I had to bring someone in to be more analytical than I am. And we work very well together. All right, I trust him a lot. And we both are cogwheels in the business, in our business. And we're making pretty good progress. And it's working out for me. That's what I've learned. Having someone actually there that's like opposite of you. Opposites attract. Opposites attract. And it's complete facts, because you have the analytical side and the creative side, and they work hand in hand together. That's why your brain's split in half. You're at some point, your brain actually was one separate thing. Most animals have a more conjoined brain than humans do. But at some point in our evolution, we grew the hemispheres, apart. And now there's a brain stem that's attaching the two together. But if you have if you have a partner like that, if you have two partners or whatever, that boosts your success, because I would rather take home half of $1 billion than all of 10 million. Okay? I would rather take home half of $1 billion than all of $1 million. Because we just boost each other up constantly over and over and over again. We bounce ideas off of each other. And right now we're in our beginning stage, so we try it all. And we can't make mistakes, because we're so early on in our business that we can't fail, pretty much. You know what I mean? It's super duper duper easy to not lose, because I've failed a whole bunch in the past month and a half. Like, I haven't made any money at all, but I don't care, because I know I will make 10K a month. All right, and then I know I'll make 10K a month after taxes. It's the same thing. I learn a skill, do it, teach it. Okay, that's what I'm doing. That's my model. I learned from myself. That's what I learned from other people doing things. Even God's, he's perfect. He learned a skill, he did it, and he's teaching it. And now he's not even doing it anymore. He's only teaching it, and he's making millions of dollars a month from it. That's the same thing, but no one dumbs it down or simplifies it to the T. No one brings it down to the actual, teachable level. That's what you do. That's what everyone else does that are super duper successful. All right, and that's what you should do. That's what you need to do. Doing the work is a different story. Well, it's the same story, but it's a little bit different, because you're not going to do something if you really don't like it. I actually had a huge transition. I was in real estate, and then for like a whole year and a half. And then I actually completely changed it really recently, like a month and a half ago, like a month ago. And I don't do real estate anymore. I made money from it. I literally made money from it. I was better than the average person doing it. All right, I looked up stats. I was better than the average person doing it, but it didn't fit me because I was told to do it. I was told to get my license. I was told to work for a team, and it didn't work out. We were all too left-brained. We were all too right-brained, and it did not work out. And then I came across my own, philosophical, visionary ideas from other people, and I realized what I want to do. And that's what you need to do. And the hard work involved is there isn't motivation from the beginning. I'm not really sure how to put this because from getting shiny object syndrome, you get that high when you start something new and then you realize how hard it is and you change it. For me, that was completely different. I did not know how hard it was at all going into my niche. And then I learned how hard it was. I watched like hundreds of hours on YouTube about my niche and what it is, how it can help me and all that stuff and the skills needed. And I wasn't really fazed at all by it. I was like, okay, so I learned that. Cool. I wasn't shocked or scared about how much information I needed to learn. I wasn't sad or mad about it. I was confused, but I was eager to learn. And that's the mindset that you need to have to win, is the eagerness to learn. All right? Nature rewards people who are relentless in the pursuit of power. All right? That's what I've noticed. Nature is relentless. Nature rewards people who are relentless in the pursuit of power. That is what you need to have with your niche. Finding it is very, very difficult because if you're someone like me, you've had addictions, you've had problems in the past that you're either still struggling with or have overcome, but you're still not where you want to be. You have to try, you just have to try a lot of things. Bottom line, you got to go for it. Find a partner that knows the opposite of you, that does the opposite of you. Like as an example, you're not an artist and your partner is. So your partner picks out the paints and they know what they're going to draw, but you pick out the canvas measurements. You pick out, what tin the paint comes in because that could affect the paint color. You go to the store earlier because that's when the paint is more available. You go to the factory directly because you know that it's better to get paint fresh. I'm making all these up. This is an example that's pure analytical and the pure creative side. The painter paints, you analyze. All right, and then you can analyze the picture they've made. All right, you say, okay, so that's a deer walking through a forest and there's fish in the water in the river. Okay, and it's blue sky and there's green trees everywhere. It seems like it's in the middle of summertime. All right. Analytically, you can understand and realize, where this is and what it is, and then you can ask, why they drew it, what sparked that, and then they can the artist can actually describe why they drew it, what inspired them, and then you both can work together and make an amazing picture together. Flow state also works on this. You perform the absolute best when your ego is destroyed and you let both sides of the brain communicate completely and utterly. You let your ego go down, all right, and you just open up your creative side, you open up your analytical side, and just do the work. And that's what hard work should feel like. Okay, it can be annoying at times, but that's what should happen sometimes, most time. When you're doing the deep work, when you're doing the hard work, you should feel relaxed, calm. Both of your brains are working together simultaneously. That's what should go on inside your head. That's what you should paint on the canvas. That's what you should put into your business. That's what you should strive to create yourself. All right, of just doing that hard work and trying a lot of things is going to be one of them, because you're not going to want to do a lot. You're not going to, well, let me rephrase it. You're not going to want to do a lot in the niche you hate. All right. For example, if you're an artist, I keep using the example. If you're an artist, you're not going to want to do plumbing. If you're an artist, you're not going to want to be an accountant. That is the opposite end of the spectrum. And if you're an accountant, you're probably not going to want to paint, or you probably don't have paintings or paints even in your house. You probably don't have that. So those two work hand in hand to create a masterpiece. And you see it with all the higher humans in society from the past and the present, Beethoven, Mozart. Those two were incredible artists that used both sides of the brain, and they made incredible art, and they bypassed all those barriers and feelings, and only their objective mattered. All right, so only your objective should matter to you and no one else. All right, and if you can work with someone on that, it's perfect. Because there's a good example. If you watch anime, there's Light Yagami, Ayane Koji, and these people are considered higher men, but they don't share their knowledge. They interpret the world from one lens, and that's simply to conquer everyone. And that's okay, but you're limiting yourself on the power that you can grasp. Because the reason why people are wired to be social. People are wired from when we were apes and monkeys. We are social animals. And you live in a tribe, you survive better. You live in a tribe, you eat better, you think better. You can bounce ideas off each other and actually build something or achieve something, whether it's killing a mammoth or whether it's building an art sculpture, okay? Or a whole civilization. Sharing ideas is what makes you the most powerful person in the world. Sharing information. If you keep all the information to yourself, you will become a higher person, a higher woman, a higher man. But you limit yourself on the information that you take in and give out, because if you only use people as tools, if you only use people as, instruments for your desire, then people will notice that and actually distance themselves from you, or you feel hollow inside. All right, you don't feel fulfilled. And even if you're wired to where you don't care about those things, you still limit yourself, because humans are genetically coded to be around other people. Simply put, you hinder yourself. It's like bottlenecking something. That's what it is. A whole bunch of liquid is coming down a river, a whole bunch of, there's a river, and then you're building a dam in the middle of the river, and then less water goes through. That's what you're doing when you're not sharing information. You don't make the river flow properly unless you share the information that you've received. That's why learn the skill, do it, teach it. That's what makes you more money anyways. That's what makes you more successful. That's what makes you have a tribe and a community. Most people want to be part of a community. Most people want to lead a community. Most people want to have security. And you could give those to people. You could literally be a leader of a community. You could be a person that has a legacy, that has an amazing family, that has everything that they ever wanted because of how much information they've gained, grasped, used, and shared. It's simply put, learn it, do it, teach it. That's the bare bone roadmap you need to follow. I don't care what it is, but that's what you have to follow for any niche that you're in, is learn it, do it, teach it. And once you can teach it properly to people that don't understand then your community gets built, then you can actually build a legacy for yourself to where your grandchildren can, look up to you. Your great-grandchildren will remember you. You can be a statue of liberation and hope and what people would strive to be in the future. You can be that example. You can actually make something of yourself. And all these other people don't understand that it's that simple of just creating your own roadmap and mimicking as little as possible from other people, thinking for yourself, be a free thinker, but also just doing something for a while and teaching it. That is what you should do. That's what I'm doing. That's what I think. That is what works for me. All right. Thank you.